Hi everyone, welcome back to Paws to Read. I'm Emily and today we're going to be reading Floss, written by Kim Lewis. This story is all about a dog that's known as a Border Collie. Now, Border Collies are really known for their work that they do on farms, when they guide other animals into different fences or different areas that the farmers want them to go. So why don't we all pull up a chair and get ready to listen to Floss and learn all about how he goes from moving from a town to working on a farm. Floss was a young Border Collie who belonged to an old man in town. She walked with the old man in the streets and loved playing ball with children in the park. "My son is a farmer," the old man told Floss. "He has a sheepdog who is too old for work. He needs a young dog to herd sheep on his farm. He could train a Border Collie like you." So, Floss and the old man traveled away from the town with its streets and houses and children playing ball in the park. They came to the heather-covered hills of a valley where nothing much grew except for sheep. Somewhere in her memory, Floss knew about sheep. Old Nell soon showed her how to round them up. The farmer trained her to run wide and lie down, to walk on behind, to shed, and to pen. She worked very hard to become a good sheepdog. But sometimes Floss woke up at night while Nell lay sound asleep. She remembered playing with children and rounding up balls in the park. The farmer took Floss up to the hill one day to see if she could gather the sheep on her own. She was rounding them up when she heard a sound. At the edge of the field, the farmer's children were playing with a brand new black and white ball. What do we think is going to happen? Floss remembered all about children. She ran to play with their ball. She showed off her best nose kicks, her best passes. She did her best springs in the air. "Hey, Dad, look at this," yelled the children. "Look at Floss." The sheep started drifting away. The sheep escaped through the gate and into the yard. There were sheep in the garden and sheep on the road. "Floss, lie down." The farmer's voice was like thunder. "You're supposed to work on this farm, not play." He took Floss back to the doghouse. Floss lay and worried about balls and sheep. She dreamed about the streets of a town, the hills of a valley, children and farmers all mixed together, while Nell had to round up the straying sheep. But Nell was too old to work every day, and Floss had to learn to take her place. She worked so hard to gather sheep well that she was too tired to dream anymore. The farmer was pleased and ran Floss in the dog trials. "She's a good worker now," the old man said. The children still wanted to play with their ball. "Hey, Dad," they asked, "can old Nell play now?" But Nell didn't know about children and play. "No one can play ball like Floss," they said. So the farmer gave it some thought. "Go on then," he whispered to Floss. The children kicked the ball high into the air. Floss remembered all about children. She ran to play with their ball. She showed off her best nose kicks, her best passes. She did her best springs in the air, and they all played ball together. The end. This is a really great story about how a dog can both work and play, and Floss does a great job at doing both. We hope you enjoyed today's story, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for tuning in.